What if the best way to tell the truth is to make the whole thing up? Think about how much songwriting advice boils down to write what you know, write your truth, be vulnerable. And yet some of the most interesting artists on the planet are writing about witches, monsters, ancient gods, fantasy kingdoms. And somehow these songs feel just as honest, maybe even more honest. That's the question I found myself thinking about while listening to Orbit of a Witch by Earth Tongue. Welcome back, club members. Pull up a chair. I have something you need to hear. I'm James, and every week on this channel, we gather to identify future music legends before everyone else catches on. Not because they're famous, not because they're trending, but because they gave us something we can't stop thinking about. If that sounds like your kind of thing, hit subscribe and officially join the club. And if you are already a club member, let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to see how far this club has spread. And if you ever see me at a live show, come on up, say hi, tell me you're a Scroll Stopper Club member. Half of the fun of this whole thing is meeting other music nerds in real life. And if you're a member of a band, a songwriter, an artist, stick around to the end. Every week, I break down something that this artist is doing really well and how you can incorporate that into your own creativity. Now, let's talk a heavy psychedelic duo originally from New Zealand, now based in Berlin.
Berlin, hey, klar kann ich Berlin. Ich habe meine Alte abgestochen in Bahn Berlin. Zack. Ich fahr so schnell nicht wieder nach Berlin. Ja, Berlin. He's going to Berlin.
Orbit of a Witch immediately grabbed me. Maybe because of the title, definitely because of the imagery, but mostly because it reminded me that some artists don't write songs. They build a song. It doesn't feel like a diary entry. It feels like a place, like there's an entire universe existing just outside the frame. Castle Rat does this, Zeppelin harnessed Tolkien, David Bowie invented Major Tom and Ziggy Stardust, and Earth Tongue does this too. They aren't simply expressing themselves, they are. The more I realize that artists feel a pressure that they have to constantly reveal themselves. Everywhere you look, including this channel, artists are being told to be authentic, to be vulnerable. Tell your story, share your trauma. And that is good advice, great advice, advice that I have given on this channel. But it's not the only way. Earth Tongue reminds us that imagination is not the opposite of truth. Sometimes imagination is the vehicle.
Imagination.
Think about horror movies, fantasy novels, comic books. Nobody expects Dracula to be a documentary. Nobody expects Godzilla to be real. But the emotions are real. The fear is real. Loneliness is real. Wonder is real. Power is real. The monster isn't the point. The monster is how the artist talks about the point. And I think Earth Tongue understands that. And lately I realized something. The songs that stay with me are not always the most technically impressive. They are the ones that create a space that I want to revisit. It's the ones that made me feel like I stepped into somebody else's universe for a few minutes. That's what Earth Tongue does. Which brings me to this week's Scroll Stopper Club induction. Earth Tongue is officially inducted into the Scroll Stopper Club. And now it's time for the songwriting lesson. Most of the time on this channel, I talk about writing from truth. And I still believe that. However, if you're struggling to write about yourself, create a character. Invent a monster, build a world, write a song from inside that world. The funny thing is, your truth will sneak in anyway. The witch isn't real, the monster isn't real, the fantasy world isn't real. But the emotions behind them are. And sometimes it's easier to tell the truth when you're wearing a mask. Not mastery, imagination. Not confession, creation. And that is where some really memorable art will come from. All the links for Earth Tongue and Orbit of a Witch will be in the description below. Go support the artist. And while you're down there, let me know, is there a band, a book, a movie that created a world you wanted to live in? I'd love to hear your picks. You'll also find the Scroll Stopper Club playlist in the description below. Every artist that gets inducted into the Scroll Stopper Club ends up on the playlist. And if you want more music discoveries, live show coverage, creativity, songwriting, or whatever weird thing pops into my brain, check out my Substack. link in the description below. And if you're new here, don't forget, subscribe to officially join the club. And for now, hey, listen to this.